so. You're trying to convince yourself, yeah, everybody is telling me the truth. And now, okay, you're going to be able to make money, and you're going to make other people money, and get recognition and notoriety, and these things will make you happy. And you start believing those people. But you start feeling empty. You start missing something. And you don't know what's going on. And I think a lot of people go through this, especially in the entertainment industry. They don't know what's that empty feeling they're feeling, and they're trying to find a way to fill it. And I think that's why you see so many people get into a lot of trouble, because they're trying to believe what everybody's telling them will bring them happiness, and it doesn't really. And so there was a time we were doing all these Christmas concerts in arenas. I remember one time I was in between, right in between Kanye West and his pyro Technicolor, I don't know, show that he had. And then it was me, and then it was Chris Brown as a finale. And I was like, okay, wow. I don't know who planned out that show, but it was just kind of funny to think, wow, I never thought I would be here. But at the same time, it just didn't. It was like, why am I feeling so unfulfilled? And it didn't go until like the end of that year, during Christmas time. I was with my family finally, and we just rented a condo and spent time. I was just there with one of my little sisters, and something just hit me and overwhelmed me, and I said, this is what I was missing. I've been gone. I always tell people, yeah, I love my family, but you know, I don't talk to them much, but they know I love them. They know I'm busy, that I have important things I need to do. But the fact that I lost sight of how those small things really are the most fulfilling thing. And I'd forgotten that that's what would make me happy, because I was so caught up in trying to be happy, trying to find the secret of happiness in all the big places, when it was right there in that little room with my sister and with my family. And then another time was, while I was on tour, I hadn't been to church for several months. I didn't think of myself as being an active member of the church. I just thought, well, I just don't have time to go to church. And I tried going to church, actually, and they told me I didn't have time. They said, you can't. There's not enough time in their schedule, and you're too busy. And God will understand, because you're doing a good thing. You're doing good things for people. Look at all the people you're touching. I said, oh, okay. All right, I guess I have a point. They know. They've been around here longer than I have. But again, you just start feeling down, and you just start feeling empty, and you're saying, what am I missing? So while I was on tour, I had a keyboardist, and she was a member of the LDS church. She was a Mormon, and she was the only one out of my whole crew that was. And one week she asked me and says, would you like to go to church this Sunday? I said, we don't have time to go to church. And she said, well, sure we do. And I was taken back when she said that. I wasn't expecting her to say that. I said, we do? And she said, you don't have anything until noon. I found some church there. You can go to Sacrament at 10 o'clock, and we should be back with time to spare for whatever things they have you scheduled for. I said, oh, I never thought of that. So I went to one of the guys I was working with, and he had told me that I couldn't go to church before, and I was really scared. I said, I'm going to go to church on Sunday. And he said, okay. I said, oh, well, that was easy. And after that, I went to church, and I just realized I was missing one of the biggest pieces, probably the most important thing of my week. It's something that's pretty simple for those of you who go in the LDS church. That we have just the sacrament meeting and the Sunday school classes, 3 hours on Sunday. This time I just went to the sacrament meeting. But when I went to take the sacrament, I just realized, wow, it says to remember. That we make a promise to remember him. And here I've forgotten him. I've forgotten the Savior, Jesus Christ. And that as long as I remember him, I'll feel his Spirit with me and that healing power. And I was missing out on that. And after that, we just started going every Sunday because I realized no one else is in charge. No one else can decide what my priorities are. Only I can. And even if people told me that I couldn't, or they told me what my priority should be, in the end I had the say. And that was so life-changing for me. And with those small and simple decisions of deciding to go to church each Sunday, even though I didn't know how I was going to get there week after week, because we were always traveling somewhere new every time. It's like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to make it work. And by the small and simple things, great things come to pass. As Alma 37, verse 6 says in the Book of Mormon. And those small and simple things led to me being able to go, decide to make time again in my life, except this time 2 years, which is a little harder to grasp. 2 years to serve a mission and be a representative of Jesus Christ in the Chile Rancagua mission in South America. And I can tell you there's no decision that has had a greater impact in my life than to make that decision to serve a mission. It was a scary decision because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what people were going to think of me, that they're going to think I was crazy. I didn't know if I was going to have anything to come back to when I came back from my mission. I thought people are going to forget me. But I think you think about, God never forgets who we are. He always knows who we are. If he knows when even the smallest little sparrow falls from a tree, he's going to know each one of his own children. And that he has a plan for us. So before I sing this next song, there's times where we feel like we don't know how we're going to get by. And I will say that what helped me get on my mission was having a good support system, having good friends to help kind of guide me, and good family members. So can any of you think of a time when a helping hand, even if it was just a moment's worth, helped you through a challenging time? We need those helping hands, whether it's a family member, a friend, or even a stranger. Or maybe you're that family member, or that friend, or even that stranger who can lift someone up and help them through a challenging time and be that bridge for them over troubled water. And I'm going to sing a song by that name for you.